Okay, so my client has a bunch of avocados here. We had this one branch that had the scarring on it, probably because it got pruned back and then it got exposed to sunburnt, and didn't grow. That's what we're assuming that happened. But anyways, we ended up taking off this branch. We cut it off, and it has all these grooves in here. And so we're just gonna chisel these out a little bit further, maybe add some drainage holes, and then I'm gonna add some soil, and then I'm gonna put the cutest little succulents ever so they can just grow in there and cascade down. And from afar, you can see that is what that'll look like, and I think it looks wonderful in the garden. So one of the first things we want to do is open up this void a little bit more. So this is my client Steve. He's the nicest guy ever. He's using a paddle bit to open up the log, and then we're going to use a chisel to break it out even more. The more soil, the better. And then I want to add drip irrigation. This is going to help keep the succulent soil moist because it will dry out a lot quicker with less soil space than in the ground. All right, so we have our avocado limb. It's been chiseled out, drilled out, and then we also have the irrigation that's running through it that ties into the irrigation system because we drilled a hole on this end. So now I'm using a palm/citrus mix, cacti mix, and I'm just going to use that to fill inside all this crevice right here. So this is the bucket that all the plants are going to grow. I'm using succulents and sedums, stuff that I think will do really well in this limited plant space, as well as like hang out in certain areas. But I'm going to try and be a little bit artistic with how I put them in.
One thing to keep in mind is if you're using a log that has been freshly cut, as it decomposes, it might bind up the nitrogen, pulling it from the soil, but it will put it back eventually, so don't fret too much. Now, I want to use a variety of different succulents. Some are going to do better in this environment than others. In fact, a lot of succulents don't love direct hot heat. So, as you can see, we have a good variety, and some of these are going to do really well, and some maybe not. The succulent log is something that's going to need to be edited every once in a while anyways, but it's a lot of fun, and honestly I can't wait to see it grow in. It's a really fun project that you can do with your family that doesn't cost a lot of money. This was an old jacaranda tree that my mom had in the backyard, and it already had a hollow rotted out in part of it, so I just opened it up a little bit further.
Alright, well it's this kind of soft wood, but if I break this out, I can make a little cubby for a succulent.
I will hold it.
Thank you. Oops. Smell that, it's rosemary.
Whoa.
Whoops. Alright. This looks like a good little cubby for a succulent to me.
How about the baby succulent?
Oh, we could put baby succulents. Alright, so I'm just pulling succulents from the backyard, and I'm using my landscape staples to secure them in this hole. I put a little bit of soil in there, and then most of these succulents have roots already, and I'm just basically arranging them to make this decorative little overspilling succulent area. This could be a bench maybe, or just like a garden feature. Succulents are so easy to work with. They really have very low demand, so sticking them in a log and repurposing it in your yard like we did in this pond, and then for my client and their yard, are really simple things you can do that add a lot of charm. So if you have a log or a stump, I hope you take it on and create a beautiful planter. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below.